Hi, I'm Michael Roub from Inflection 360. I wrote an article on the top 10 strategies to sell your business for maximum value. And I also prepared a prior video where I covered 5 of those strategies. This video will cover the remaining 5 items that I think are essential for you as an owner to get the most value you can for your business at the time of sale. So, we'll start with number 6, eliminating unnecessary staff. This is one of the best opportunities to achieve value, but it has to be done in advance of the sale. And too often owners are reluctant to fire staff and would rather leave it to a potential buyer. The problem with that is that you're leaving value on the table. If there's somebody that you don't need in your business, then you need to look at getting them off your expenses and out of your financial statements 6 to 12 months prior to the close. Otherwise, you won't get value for that non-recurring or non-necessary cost from a buyer's perspective. It is often difficult for owners to make those type of changes, but the value can be dramatic. And I do talk about that in detail in another video, which I encourage you to watch. Number 7, transition considerations. Most sellers look to leave quickly after a sale, and in many cases, the buyer would like that to be the case as well. However, sometimes exiting too early can negatively impact the business value. The business knowledge, the goodwill that the seller has built with clients over time, those can be difficult to transfer after the transaction closes. So a seller first needs to be honest with himself whether to be willing to stay on board for any transitional or long-term period post-transaction. And if they would be, then that's something they can share with the buyer. I wouldn't make it a hard and fast rule that you are adamant that you must stay on board, but you should certainly make it an option that the buyer may actually would like to take you up on to get value in the deal. As a seller, the additional benefit you get is additional compensation in the form of a paycheck post the transaction closing. So you're going to help protect the value of the business that you're selling and get yourself additional income in the process. But that's something that the seller and buyer need to have an open and fair dialogue about. Number 8 are lawyers and accountants. And I say estimate the expenses in advance. You may not get a perfect answer, but if you're going to go through this process of selling your business, it's going to take some time. Both your attorney and your accountant are going to need to be involved in various phases of the process to ensure the integrity of your financials, that your any legal considerations are in order, that your sales process and the documentation are all being taken care of and addressed properly as well. So you want to make sure that those expenses don't run out of whack either. It's a challenging process to get through an acquisition, and there are lots of costs involved when you're going to sell your business. So you need to at least attempt to quantify what that would be like and have a very clear dialogue with your accountant and your lawyer in terms of what your expectations should be. And frankly, if they don't have a sense of what it will cost from their perspective, you might want to talk to some other accountants and attorneys who may be a better fit in a sales process. But regardless, you need to do your homework and get those questions answered now to give you peace of mind and comfort as you go through this process. Number 9, this is one of the most important pieces of advice I've been giving clients since my very beginning days in investment banking more than 20 years ago. Run your business as if it'll be yours for the long term, because it just might be. Acquisitions fall through commonly. That doesn't mean that another buyer won't be ready to come on board to take over your business. But you can't be assured of that, or you can't be assured that you get the price that you want. Once a seller and buyer have gone through a process, a buyer may not feel in due diligence that the value is what they had perceived it to be. So you have to be prepared to position your business for the best sale possible, but know that there's always that risk that the transaction won't be completed for whatever reason. And in the majority of acquisitions, the owners and the management team can get very consumed in the process by necessity. It's important. It's one of the most important events an owner could ever have. You can get consumed by the sales process, but you can't forget to run your business. If you have competent advisors working with you, let them shoulder a lot of the load of the sales process while you continue to run your business. The worst thing that could happen is you're so focused on the sale of your business that you're not running your business. The transaction falls through, and you're left with now a business which is impaired compared to what it was before you started the process because it's really been neglected from an operating standpoint. Your worst case scenario. So be diligent in terms of keeping your focus on running your day-to-day operations as close to the same as you did before you started the process of a sale. If you do that, the value of the business won't get diminished and a buyer won't get scared, and you're more likely to sell the business for the same value it anticipated at the onset anyway. So I really, really stress the importance of running your business as if it's for the long term. And finally, number 10, put a bow on it to sell your business for maximum value. And what I mean by that is your business may be great, your team may be great, your financials may be really well put together, your metrics are all there. Everything's running great in your business, but make sure when you are engaging a buyer, they see all this value. Present it properly. Have the due diligence materials prepared. Know the questions they're going to ask before they ask them and have the information ready. Working with a very experienced advisor can help you in this regard because they should be able to anticipate all of those items for you. But they need to take the time to package that together. Have a great memorandum put together. Your financials have to be very clean. Make sure everything ticks and ties. A buyer, particularly a sophisticated buyer, is going to scrutinize every aspect of your business. They're going to look at it with a very critical eye because they're going to be writing a very large check. You would do the same. So take their perspective when you're looking to sell your business and ask the same questions. What would I want to know? Where would I want to look? Something doesn't look right to me. What can they tell me to get me comfortable? If you do all of that work and put it together, package it properly, visually, organized fashion, completeness, those things will all give a buyer a tremendous amount of comfort, will make your business seem that much more substantial and well run, and ultimately it's going to help you get the most value possible. So I encourage you to watch my prior video if you didn't see it, or you can read the article. You can find it on my website, inflection360.com. We'd love to talk to you about ways to help you maximize the value of your business, whether for the long term or in the event of a sale. We're here to help. Thank you very much.